Lest anyone try to take credit for the possibility of a diplomatic solution in Syria, embattled President Bashar al-Assad wants the world to know it was not the United States that convinced him. Assad told a Russian state broadcaster the reason he's agreeing to put Syria's chemical weapons under international control is because Russia made the offer. In other words, not because the United States threatened a military strike, a prospect that faced a vote in the U.S. Senate this week, but was put on hold when Syria agreed to the Russian proposal. It's called the Russian proposal because technically Russia was first to throw the idea out there in a serious way, though, of course, Secretary of State John Kerry also facetiously suggested it earlier in the week when a reporter asked how Syria could avoid a U.S. military strike.
He could turn over every single bit of his chemical weapons to the international community in the next week. Turn it over, all of it.
Still, President Obama and his supporters have suggested the White House deserves at least some of the credit for averting war, at least for now.
It's unlikely that we would have arrived at that point where there were even public statements like that without a credible military threat to deal with the chemical weapons use inside of Syria.
But even as late as Tuesday night, President Obama was still holding out the possibility of force if the Russian plan didn't pan out.
The United States military doesn't do pinpricks. Even a limited strike will send a message to Assad that no other nation can deliver.
Which Russian President Vladimir Putin warned against in a recent op-ed in the New York Times. Force is permitted only in self-defense or by the decision of the Security Council. Anything else is unacceptable. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov have 2 days of meetings to hash out details of the plan in Geneva. For Newsy, I'm Christina Hartman.